Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about the AOA Studio Buttercream Gel Liners and Shadows. And they come in these little pots. These are from shopmissay.com. Most of the items on their website are $1 and these are in fact $1. They can be used as a cream eyeshadow, a gel liner, or a colored base. So they are quite versatile. Make sure that you put the cap on nice and tight though after you use it, because if you leave it open even a little bit of a crack, it will dry out faster. They're not going to last more than, I'm not sure, because I bought these in 2 stages, so the ones that I have that are the oldest aren't really at the age yet where they would normally be thrown out or dry up. But just be careful that you put the cap on plenty tight enough. So when I show you these, some of them are gonna look visibly drier than the others, but that's because I've had those original shades for a few months. But then I was having so much fun with these that I decided to go ahead and order some more colors. Now, they come in 12 shades. I am missing one, and I was going to wait until it came back into stock and to do this video, but one thing that I've noticed about shopmissay.com is sometimes things either take a really long time to come back into stock, or sometimes they never come back into stock. So rather than chance it, I figured, well, I have 11 out of the 12 shades, so I thought I'll just go ahead and do the video without that one shade that I'm missing. So these come in mattes and shimmers. The shimmers I like to use on my lids, and the mattes I like to use as a liner. So let me just randomly grab some here and show you what I have. These are very long lasting. I don't know that I would go so far as to say they're waterproof, but they're pretty tough and they don't move around or anything like that. So this is Birthday, and this is one of the shades that I have on right now. And I am going to do a demo for you after I show you all the colors. This is Java Chip. This is a matte brown. This is what I used as my liner today. This is Pumpkin, and see how it's pulling away from the edges? That's because this is one of the older shades. It's still usable though, but this is a shimmery copper color, and I have this one on as well. So those are the 3 shades I used to do this look that I have on. I did pull in a powder eyeshadow, which I'll show you when we get to that part of the video. But there are so many great, unusual colors in this line. So let me just randomly grab some more colors. This one is Cupcake. This is a shimmery blue. I believe that shade is called Cyan. Then this is Blueberry. This is a matte teal. This is a staple. This is Licorice. This is a matte black. I used that as a liner in yesterday's video, I believe. Or I had it on in that video. Pistachio. This is a very unique color. This is a matte green, but this super dark green, yeah, I've never seen anything like that, ever. Okay, Sweet 16. This is a shimmery aqua. Rosé. It's rose gold. Sprinkles. Shimmery purple. And last but certainly not least is Red Velvet. And this is a matte red. Oh wow, that's not coming off as red. There we go. But if I tilt it, yeah. When's the last time you ever saw a matte red liner? Or cream shadow for that matter? Super unique. Yeah, when these first were introduced on the site, you definitely couldn't get them at all. But now that the newness has died down, they should be pretty easy to get. So the one that I don't have is called Ganache, and I think it's like a shimmery dark gray from what I remember. But I'll pick that up at some point. So let me show you how I apply these and any little tips and tricks that go with that. Okay, so I am going to use 3 of these. I'm going to use Birthday, Pumpkin, and Java Chip. And because I am going to pull in 1 powdered eyeshadow with those, I'm going to prime my eyes. If I wasn't going to bring in that powder eyeshadow, and I'm using Amuse Smokey Eyes in the shade Desert, if I wasn't going to use that powder eyeshadow, I wouldn't need to prime my eyes because these could even be used as a colored base themselves. But I do want to bring that in, so I'm going to do that first. So this is the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer in the shade Rose. Sometimes I use my fingers, sometimes I use a brush. It's just whatever I feel like. Today I feel like using a brush. So I'm going to put that all over because I want to make sure that the powder eyeshadow can be used in the crease. So these AOA Studio gels, they come in a variety of finishes, colors, and I hopefully will have already gone over that with you in the beginning portion of this video. All right, let's start off with Birthday. Birthday is a beautiful bright gold, and you could use your fingers or you could use a brush. I'm going to use a flat shader brush with this. Put some on my brush and bam, packed with pigment. I'm going to put this on my lids. Yeah, this is a very vibrant, bright gold. It's a very yellowy gold. Okay, so I'm going to go about 3/4. And then what is left on the brush, I'm going to go up into the brow bone so that I'm not depositing as much color. We're going to use that as our highlight as well. Brow bone highlight. So there's a very, very thin layer there now. Let's work off one eye and then I'll duplicate the other one off camera just to save time. All right, next I'm going to go into the shade Pumpkin, which is a orangey bright copper, we'll say. I'm just going to flip the brush over and use the same brush, and we're going to go into the outer third of my lids. And I am going to bring it in far enough that I'm going to overlap that other color just a tiny bit. Okay, I'm gonna just put a little bit more. This is not one of the new shades that I got, so I've had this one for a while. So it's just gonna take a little bit more product to get the color payoff that I want, because it is starting to dry up a little bit. But that's the beauty of this. These are $1, so when it dries up to the point that I don't want to use it anymore, I can throw it out and buy a new one if I want. Okay. So always make sure that you put the covers on nice and tight, because that will help them from drying up. All right, let's go into that Amuse single eyeshadow in the shade Desert. And this is just a nice matte warm brown. And I'm just going to take this Morphe M514 brush and just put a little bit on the brush. And we're going to start in the outer corner. And I'm just sort of stippling it on at this point. And then I start like dabbing. Like that. And now I can start blending. So I like to kind of get the product where I want it to be first and then blend it. This, see how there's like a blank section there? The color doesn't adhere that well in the outer corner for me. And I don't know if it's the way I'm applying my primer or what, but I always have to go over that. Extra. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Java Chip, which is just a nice brown, and it's sort of on the cool side. But this is the only matte brown in the line. And I'm just going to take this Sonia Kashuk brush. It's number 202, but honestly, I haven't looked at the Sonia Kashuk brush section at Target in so long. I don't even know if they still make this. But I like this brush for this type of application. Okay, so I'm trying to put a small amount on here without putting too much. And I'm just going to go right along the lash line. Okay, then I would curl my lashes. I don't think I'll ever get used to the way this looks. It looks like a torture device, doesn't it? Still loving the Milani, the violet one. A lot of product comes off on the brush. It doesn't do that when you first buy it, but for some reason over time, it drags the product up out of the tube more, so I like to just wipe off some of the excess. Even though this is violet in color, when you put your mascara over it, it's not gonna give any kind of a purple tint that I've seen. And the reason why I'm doing the rest of the eye makeup with you is because I used this mascara, NYX On the Rise Volume Liftscara, in my NYX video where I did like all one brand testing out new products. And I gotta tell you, I haven't touched my Essence mascara since I first used this. And it's funny because to look at it, it's not depositing a ton of product on the brush, which made me think it was going to be dry and I wasn't going to like it. I like it. This is the first dry mascara that I've ever used that I really like. I mean, look at that. All right, let me do the other eye and I'll be right back. Okay, so when I did the other eye, I didn't use as much. No, I used too much of the gold color and it was much golder on one side. Then the other side was more subtle, so I had to just keep adding more product to balance it out, but you get the idea anyway. Also, I took that pumpkin color and I brought it in further so that I have less gold than I originally did and more of the pumpkin color, but I do like the end result. And these are a little bit trickier to work with than powder eyeshadows, but I think that, you know, if you play around with them, you might enjoy the look that you can get out of them. I really like the shimmery shades on my lids, and the matte shades I like to use as liners. I wouldn't use the matte shades to try to do like crease work or outer corner work because I think you could have some trouble with the blending. But yeah, these are for $1. They come in a ton of beautiful shades, really fun to play with. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.